Hi, in this video we are going to have a look at how to enter data into SPSS. Now the data we're going to use are some data about the heavy metal band Metallica. And we're going to use these data because it gives us the opportunity to look at lots of different variable types. So the data we're going to enter it's the stuff behind my head right now. And in order to get this into SPSS, we are first obviously going to have to fire up the package. Here we have a blank data editor in SPSS, and there are two views here. The view we've got up at the moment is what's known as the data view. That's where you enter your data, look at your data. And there's another view called the variable view, which is where you create variables and set attributes for them. So the way we input data into SPSS is we treat each row as an entity. In this case, we're treating each row as a band member, and each column we treat as a variable that tells us some information about each entity. So entities in rows, variables in columns. So to start off with, the first variable we need to create is the name of the band member. So we'll go into the variable view where it says name. We need to give this variable a name. And this is this is the name that we're going to use in analysis and stuff. So you can't have things like spaces or special characters and things like that. So it has to be sort of a short, sharp or shortish, sharp name. So the first variable is going to be the band member's name. So let's just call that name. And entering that and hitting return creates a variable with some default properties. So the type of the variable is what sort of variable it is. And by default, SPSS assumes you're going to be putting in numbers. So the type is set to numeric. But we need to click on this. And the band members' names are obviously text. So we need to change this to be a text variable, which is known as a string variable. So we select string here, click on OK. We now have a string variable. We can do things like set the width of the column. Band members' names are quite long, so we might want to increase this a bit. So let's set that to 14. And then where it says label, this is where you can give a more detailed description of what the variable represents. So here we're not restricted. We can use spaces and stuff like that. So we might call this band member's name. And we can set some other attributes like, for example, what kind or the level of measurement of the variable. So being a text variable, the level of measurement is nominal, and that is the default value here. But you'll see for some other variables, we might want to set this to other things. So that's our first variable, our string variable. To enter the data, we pop back into the data view. We now have a variable called name, and we can start actually inputting the names. So we'll start with the drummer, Lars Ulrich. And then if we hit the down arrow on our keyboard, we can input that first cell and move down into the next cell, which is pretty handy. Right, having entered our band members' names, we can create the next variable, which is their date of birth. So we hop back to the variable view, and we're going to name this variable birth underscore date. So I'm using an underscore rather than a space because I can't use a space, but an underscore is a good way to make your variable names a bit clearer. I'm going to press return. Again, it's assumed this is going to be a numeric value, but if we click in here, we can change it to a date. When we change it to a date, it will ask us the format of the date. So how do we want to input our dates? And we're going to use this top option here of just doing day, month as 3 letters, and then the year. So we can give this a label if we want to, date of birth, something like that. Again, we could treat this as a nominal variable because it's kind of, if you like, textual information in a way. So going back to our data view, we've now got a variable called birth date, and we can start entering these dates of birth. Again, we use the down arrow on the keyboard to move into the next cell. Note with our dates that because we picked that format of 2 numbers, 3 letters for the month, and then 4 numbers for the year, we've had to input all the dates in that way. Okay, the next variable we're going to enter is a death date, because unfortunately one member of Metallica passed away. So we'll put our variable name. Again, I'm using that underscore to separate the 2 words in my variable name. Again, SPSS has assumed this is numeric, but we'll set it up as a date variable in exactly the same way as before. Basically, we're just copying all the options from before. We're going to treat this as nominal. Back in our data view, we only have to input one piece of data here, so we can just click directly in the cell. And again, 2 numbers for the date, for the day, 3 letters for the month, and 4 numbers for the year. The next variable we want to enter is the instrument that each band member plays. And you might think this is a text variable because, you know, we're going to write drums or guitar or something like that. But actually, we want to treat this as what's known as a coding variable or a factor. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign a number to each instrument and then label that number. So for example, we might decide that number 1 represents the guitar. So we'll enter a number 1 as the data, but we'll attach a label to number 1 that says guitar. So let's have a look at how to do that. So in our variable view, we can create the variable, we'll call it instrument. I tend to always just label my variables in lowercase letters. And like I said, I use underscores for spaces. So by default, this has been created as a numeric variable, and this is actually what we want. So we'll give it a label of instrument played. But now, something that we haven't done before is use this column that says value. So this is where we tell SPSS what numbers we wish to attach to, in this case, which instruments. So we get this dialog box up here. There's a plus button that we can press that adds a row, and we basically type in a value like a number 1, and then we attach a label to it. So we have to make a decision about which number we want to attach to which label, and that's kind of, you know, it's a decision that you have to make. And sometimes with research, there's particular reasons to have particular categories as the first category or last category or whatever. In this case, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to assign a value of 1 to guitar, because that's the best of the instruments. And then we click the add button to add another row. A value of 2 we're going to assign to bass, and we'll assign a value 3 to drums. So here we've set up our value labels attached to certain numbers. So if we click on OK. Another thing I do here, because we're using integers or whole numbers, I'm going to set the decimals to 0, because otherwise when we look at the data, we're going to end up seeing lots of unnecessary 0 decimal places. So back in the data view, we've got our variable called instrument. And here we don't type the name of the instrument, we assign the number. So Lars Ulrich, the drummer, we assigned drums to 3, so we type 3. And then we can hit return. James Hetfield is guitar, so he'll get a number 1. And you can see as we're putting it in, the 1, even though we're putting in the number 1, it's turning into guitar. Kirk Hammett is a guitar. Rob is bass, so we give him a number 2. Jason's bass, number 2. Cliff was bass, number 2. And Dave Mustaine guitar, number 1. Now we can toggle between the labels and the numbers by clicking on this button here. So if I toggle here, you can see they're the numbers we put in. And if I click that again, it goes back to the value labels. Okay, the next variable we want to put in is whether they are a current member of the band or not. So this is what you might call a logical variable. So it's true or false. They're either a current member or they're not. So again, we go to the variable view. We create the variable by giving it a name, and we're going to call this current underscore member. Hit return. Creates it as a numeric variable. That is fine. We give it a more descriptive label. Current member of the band. And again, we have to assign values. So we click on the value labels, click on the plus button, and we're going to assign a 1 for true. They are a current member. And we'll assign a 0 for false. They are not a current member. Click on OK. Now again, these variables, because we're essentially assigning each member to a category, these are nominal variables. So we can set that to nominal. We can also do that for instrument, which I forgot to do earlier on. And again, I'm going to whack the decimal places down to 0 so we can put in whole numbers in the data view. So in terms of current members, the first 4 that are listed are current members. So we can just put in 1s for all of those. So you can see you can use a drop-down list, but it's actually quicker to just hit return. So they are current members, and then we'll switch to 0s for the members that are no longer in the band. Next up, we're going to import how many songs they have written. So we'll go to the variable view, create a new variable called songs underscore written. This is going to be numeric. We're going to be putting in numbers. Again, decimal places we can put a 0 because you don't write half a song. You only can write whole numbers of songs. And we'll label this number of songwriting credits. We don't need values for this. We're just going to be putting in numbers. And so we want to set the variable to be a scale variable. That's basically ratio or interval data. So back in the data view, we've got our songs written variable, and we can input those data just by typing the numbers. So Lars has contributed to 123 songs. James has contributed to 124 at the time of making this video. So, quick quiz. What is the one song in Metallica's catalogue that James Hetfield wrote and Lars Ulrich didn't? So they co-write every single song apart from one. What's the name of that song? Kirk Hammett has contributed to 60 songs, more than you might think. Rob, 19. Jason Newsted, a whopping 3. Cliff Burton, 11. And Dave Mustaine, 6. Next variable we're going to put in is their net worth. Now, full disclosure, I got these numbers off of some dodgy website, so they are probably not remotely accurate, but let's roll with it. So in the variable view, we'll give net worth a name. I'm going to call it net underscore worth. SPSS, again, is going to assume that we want a numeric variable, but actually we want a currency variable. And you can, they're an American band, so I have their net worth in dollars. So we could just select dollars, but we can also select a custom currency. And this is quite good because we're dealing with millions of dollars. This is quite a good thing for us to do. Now, the first custom currency is, in fact, dollars in millions. But we can set euros, you can set UK pounds, so on and so forth. So there are different sort of formats that you can use. So we're going to go for this top format. And again, we're going to be dealing in whole numbers of millions. So we can set the decimal places down again. I'm going to name it net worth. Or net worth. And we're going to be very clear that this is in millions of dollars. And again, this is kind of, a scale variable because we're dealing with money. In our data view, we can start inputting these values. So basically the benefit of this currency type is we don't have to type in all the zeros for the millions. We just get this, it automatically appends this M that tells us it's millions. So Lars is worth the most with 350 millions, probably because of his period of collecting artwork. James is worth 300 million. As mentioned, this information is probably not remotely accurate. Kirk Hammett is worth 200 million. Rob is worth 40 million-ish. Jason Newsted, 60 million. That's like 20 million for every song he wrote, which is, it's not bad work if you can get it. Cliff Burton is worth 1 million and Dave Mustaine, 14 million. Presumably a lot of that comes from his work with Megadeth. So that's how you put in currency. And finally, let's just put in how many albums they have performed on. So we'll create a variable called albums. Hit return. It's a numeric variable. That's fine. Again, we're dealing with whole numbers, so we can remove the decimal places. And number of albums performed on. Don't know. Again, this is a scale variable because we've got interval level data here. So how many albums have they contributed to? Lars, James and Kirk have been on them all. So 11 for each of those. Rob has been on 3. Jason appeared on 4 of their albums. Cliff Burton appeared on 3 of their albums. And Dave Mustaine was not on any of them, although he wrote some songs for the first one. So there you go. That's our data entered. We can save this by File, Save. Find yourself somewhere where you want to save it. I've already got a pre-made version of these data called Metallica.sav. So that's what I would call it, Metallica sav, and then click on save. That will save it. And that's a little brief introduction to entering data into SPSS. I hope it was useful.